Paul O'Neill joins us now. Paul, it's Michael and Don. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just on the bus, looking at what you're looking. A cold, gray day here in Detroit.
All right, so how tough is it to play in weather like this? Who's it toughest on, the hitters or the pitchers?
You know what? I always thought early in the season you're kind of used to it. I mean, today's a little much. I mean, it's really cold. There were snow flurries this morning, but I think coming out of the dugout, you're fairly warm. The bat's warm. You're fine. I think pitchers have a tough time with breaking balls and gripping the ball. So I don't think there's really a big advantage either way.
You know, when I played when I was younger, cold weather, the hands would sting depending on where you hit the bat with the ball. Is there a different way you get pitched? Do you get pitched more maybe inside in cold weather because it's tough to get around and tough to get a feel for the bat when it's cold?
I think a lot of pitchers talk about that, but I think pitchers go to what their strengths are. I mean, Price tonight, he comes at you pretty much whether it's 85 or 35. So, obviously if you don't hit the ball square, you do get jammed, you hit the ball off the end of the bat. It does hurt, but you don't think about that in the midst of a swing. It just kind of happens. And believe me, I'd rather have a broken bat and it fall in and driving a run as a hit, whether it's cold or warm.
Now, Paul, this is your first chance to really look at this team in an extended way during the regular season. You saw them a bit in spring training. What do you think? I mean, the first two games, the Yankees got great starting pitching, but what do you think of their lineup? Will they be able to score enough runs?
Yeah, that's a big question. I think that Carlos Beltran's going to be a big question mark. You've got to get him going. You need another, especially that he's a switch hitter, a power bat in the lineup. Is Alex just off to a great start, or is he going to be this way all year? You just don't know that. And, Teixeira has swung the bat well in the first couple games, but again, early in the year when they weren't catching the ball and you were getting decent pitching, you weren't scoring any runs, you don't give yourself an opportunity to win. Now they're catching the ball, they're making the plays, still not blowing anybody away, but there is a concern, I think, overall throughout the year how you're going to continually score runs.
And Beltran's a great player. I think he's a borderline Hall of Famer, Paul, but he's 38. So how long do you wait to see if it turns around, and do you start to get concerned that maybe this is a player that maybe is up against it in his career?
Well, I think you get concerned coming into the year with the injuries from last year and then, off to kind of a slow start. But, you don't push a panic button. Obviously, it's a long season. You make sure that he's healthy, first of all. And, you got some guys filling in that have done a good job, so you don't miss a bat as much as you would if you didn't have guys filling in. But to me, he's a big, big part of this lineup that you need to get going.
Now, we have to ask you this because, we talked a lot yesterday on our show about, why don't the Yankees go the other way against shifts? And the Yankees get shifted on more than any other team. Now, you were a player that used the whole field, so you wouldn't have been shifted on. But I have to ask a professional baseball player who played at a high level, who won 5 championships, could a player who's a dead pull hitter his entire career go the other way if he had to?
I think he can. I think that to say that I can't do that as a major league hitter, I don't believe it. But there are times where, a base hit the other way or as good as a home run because you're trying to build if you're down a couple runs. Now, if it's a one-run game, and you're a guy that can hit the ball out of the park, then, you hit the ball where it's pitched, but and give yourself an opportunity to tie the game up. But there are times, and we've seen it from a few guys in the lineup, trying to bunt and hit the ball the other way. I think some of the players are starting to adjust to these crazy shifts, but until the defenses are burned over and over again, they're going to stick with it.
Now, when you see a player consistently not take advantage of the shift, Paul, do you think it's a guy that can't do it, or his just ego won't let him hit the other way?
Well, I think it's the numbers game. I think that everything is kind of based on numbers in baseball, and certain guys are used to doing certain things, and Mark Teixeira is not going to hit 30 home runs and drive in 120 when he's trying to flip the ball to left field, and I think that sometimes gets in the way. And like I said, I don't think it's every single at bat you try to hit around the shift, but there are times where, a base hit can build an inning. And I think that players are going to become smarter with it. And I think that, you can use it as a weapon and just getting on base.
We're talking with Paul O'Neill, who'll be doing the game with me, and John Flaherty tonight on the Yes Network. Starts at 7, Yankees against the Tigers. Now, you got a chance to see 2 starting pitchers for the Yankees, and a lot of concerns regarding the opening pitcher, and that's CC Sabathia. From what you saw, Paul, against a really good lineup, maybe the best lineup in baseball, can Sabathia win consistently with the stuff that he's sporting now?
I think that I think he can. I don't know that he's going to be that, that 17, 18, and 4 guy anymore, but I think that he's very competitive. He knows how to pitch. I think for the most part, he's going to give the team an opportunity to win. I thought he was very good the other night. On most nights where you score some runs for him, you're going to win that game. And I think Joe Girardi was in no hurry to pull him out. So he still has a lot of confidence in him. And Michael, you saw the same thing I did. I mean, his fastball late in the game was in the 90s. He had a good changeup and a good breaking ball. And, frustration, obviously, that he's getting no wins at this point. But veteran pitchers know that, if they throw the ball well, they're going to get some wins.